Good afternoon. I'm back again. This is Jen, and things are changing every day, right? Today is May 13th. It's a Wednesday. It's the middle of the week, and for me at least, it was the first day back to my out of the house job. So that was kind of interesting. It was good to see everybody, and maybe the card today will reflect some of that. We'll see. So without further ado, I will see what we've got today. The star. I would say yes, that kind of represents some of the actions of getting back to who you are, getting back to normal. Normal's an interesting word right now. Uh, so the star is another one of the major arcana cards, which again, there's 22 of them. They were removed from the standard playing card deck, or they were removed to create the standard playing card deck, which we have obviously far fewer cards in our playing card deck. So the star is the 17, card 17, and Roman numerals. So if you're into tarot, learn Roman numerals. It's a thing. So that's an X, a V, and two I's, by the way. The star is, so I'll start out with describing this one. In this case, it is a woman. She is nude. You cannot see anything interesting because her hair is covering all of that. She kind of got this Lady Godiva thing going on. She's in the water. She's looking up at the stars. There are several stars in the sky. If you ever think to count them, a lot of times they've got like 7 stars in the sky or groups of 3s. This one actually has 8. So, but it's 7 and then one major big star. So I'm sure there's reasoning for that number. She's standing in the water. There's water pouring from her hands. It's a little bit indicative of both the water sign of Aquarius, or I'm sorry, the air sign of Aquarius and the air sign of Libra. Both of those air signs are kind of that scales, that giving of water as well. So that is interesting. Above her head in the tree, there's a little bird, and the bird as well is looking up at the sky. And keep in mind, I think I mentioned this before, things that are in the foreground are things that are in our world, things that are tangible, things that are material. Things that are behind the head or above the character very oftentimes are of the spiritual or the metaphysical or their inner thoughts. So in this case, this beautiful woman standing in the water is, and it's hard to tell whether she's actually in the water or she's kind of standing on the shore, but she's got her hands in the water. The bird can be something that is her connection to the spiritual, her connection to her higher self. So that can be a bird sometimes. You'll see in sometimes Egyptian as well as some of the Celtic, because like Rhiannon had her birds. And this is kind of what I look at when I see this woman, is a little bit of Rhiannon and a little bit of that spiritual connection to maybe Eve in the Garden of Eden, connecting to God, connecting to different things. And she is standing next to a tree, could be the tree of knowledge. The water, of course, is emotion, and that those feelings that you get, whether they're tumultuous or smooth. And there's mountains in the background. Those are further away. They are also back and away. I really don't worry too much about what's really far behind her in terms of the mountains and things like that. It really is about that water. The star is about getting back to who you are, finding who your true self is, and connecting to that. Which, as I said, the water, which is your emotion and your kind of the waters of life, shall we say. And again, listening to that higher self, listening to your conscience. The bird can also be kind of like that Jiminy Cricket sort of character, where it's your conscience, it's your inner thoughts. And she is just palms open, accepting of all these gifts and things that are coming from the waters of life. And she's listening to her higher self. and what fulfills her and what activates her feelings of being connected. The star will show up usually when people have kind of found their calling in life. And so, like I said, it's very interesting for this to come up today because for some people it was getting back to the jobs they love, getting back to the experiences that are normal for them, and feeling that connection. When the star comes up and it's inverted, powerful cards, when they're upright and inverted, they can mean different things. When it's inverted, it kind of means exactly the opposite, that the person doesn't feel connected to what they're doing. They don't feel like they're doing what is fulfilling. They're just kind of going through the motions. They're just kind of doing what will put food on the table, what will keep them balanced here in the material, but there's nothing up in it. There's nothing about that that feeds their soul, that feeds their heart. So if you have the star card come up and it's inverted, this person's probably not super happy with their life. They're probably not super happy with the choices that they've made and put themselves in. Otherwise, if it comes out upright, this person's probably found the career of their dreams, the relationship of their dreams. Everything's coming up roses, as they say. And they feel very fulfilled. The star, I have seen the woman, she's kind of kneeling by the water, she's standing by the water, she's in the water. It's different in each card. Again, it's kind of what the artist feels. It depicts this image, depicts the meanings in this image. And again, we're using the Mary Hanson Roberts deck, so that's really cool. I don't think I've ever showed you guys the back of these cards. They're really kind of fancy. So little bit Celtic feeling. With the star, being that she's kind of in that water, or at least as close to touching it as possible, and it's always in her hands, it's always something that she's touching, it does feel very much like she's really found what quenches her thirst in a very, like, here it is, and just say it the way it looks like. She's quenching her thirst, and she's happy, she's joyful. In this, she's looking up at the stars, she's looking up at things that would be the metaphysical, God, the greater gifts of the world, the universe, however you see it. She connects to those things. I love seeing this card in a reading when it's upright. It's not upright, obviously. When it's upright, I love to see this card in a reading because it really speaks to me as this person is going places and they're really happy where they're going. The star is also a card that usually comes, if you're talking again about that hero's journey of things, the star comes after a lot of things, a lot of upheaval, a lot of change. And it's sort of like, you can take a breath and just enjoy and take a drink after a hard workout, after a hard day, have a drink. Not necessarily alcoholic, but if that's what you feel. It's a time to relax, rejuvenate, and bathe a little bit in that kind of energy of I did a good job today, and I did good things, and I feel good about the things I did. So when I see her and she's kind of washing off the world and washing off the things that either they were troubling her or things that were really great, but she needs to kind of meditate on them and appreciate things. So that's kind of the takeaway a little bit from this card too, is wash away the things that didn't serve you today and take in and reflect, because again, reflecting pool, reflecting surface, reflect a little bit about the things that were great today. Think of things that really fed you, things that fed your spirit emotionally, physically, spiritually. All those things come into this particular card. I've had a couple readings where this has come up and people have just been like, this is exactly what I needed to know. Because it's not always about what the future holds, it's about where they are right now. And some people need that reassurance that they're on the right path. And when this card comes up and it's upright and you can tell that person, yes, You are on the right path. You are doing what you're meant to be doing. You are connecting to a spirit. You are connecting to what your purpose is, what your soul's purpose is. That really makes it feel a lot better. Because we don't know. We make all these choices in life, and sometimes we look at it and go, but was that the right one? Did I really, like, this feels too good to be true. This feels like there's no way I can feel this good about it. Something's got to give, right? This card tells people, no, you're good. You did good, and it's going to be great, and you're doing okay. And but some people need that reassurance, especially when it feels like it's too good to be true. You find the relationship or the job or the house of your dreams, the car of your dreams, and you're thinking, well, this is just a physical thing. This shouldn't feel this good. But when it's just right, especially in a relationship or a job, it feels good. And go with that feeling. Sometimes your gut is right. And even if it's too good to be true, it may actually be really great. And it might be where you're going. So that's the star, and it's a little insight about the star. I hope that helps. And again, if you want to know more about readings, please feel free to leave a comment or contact me. I am on Facebook and in other places. Also, if you want to read a little bit more about why it's so interesting right now, these times that we live in, connecting the supernatural and the metaphysical with the physical world and technology, check out my book that's by Bob Frank and and it's called Cloud to Cloud, and it's an interesting read. It is a little bit of an adventure, sci-fi kind of thing, so if you're into that, it's a lot of fun to read. And until next time, I will see you later and have a wonderful day. Bye!